Active listings reached new highs this week. We're going to talk about that and more in a more detailed update this week. Hi, I'm Tony Meier with Windermere Real Estate. For 34 years, I've been an avid study of the real estate market, and I'm going to distill that experience and intel into actionable information you can use to make a real estate decision. But before I get into it, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps YouTube know that this is valuable information and gets content out to others who want to know about our Eastside real estate market. So we're going to talk about rates for sale and pending, months of inventory, and median price. First up is interest rates. So we were at 6.28 1 year ago today, and we are now at 6.97. So even though the 52-week range is 5% to 7.37, we've basically lived with 6% rates for a year now. And the last time we saw that happen was back in 2002. So for 20 years, we've lived with much lower rates, and you would think our market is falling apart as a result of that. And I'm going to show you information that really says it's not. Maybe it's not quite the same market we had last year, but it's not falling apart. So first up on those numbers is active listings. And normally we would expect, we're at 620 this week. So this is the record part of this. We've not been over 600 so far this year, but normally we'd expect over 1,000 homes for sale in the month of June. If you look at the average for the last 9 years, that is the number. So we're well below that, and there's a lack of fluidity to our marketplace on both sellers, new listings, and pending transactions, buyers, all because of interest rates. And in spite of that, the market is holding up pretty well as we go through these numbers, and you'll see. So next up is our pending sales. We would normally expect in June to sell over 900 homes. If we're selling on average about 130 a week, we're going to be below that clearly. But that is part of this, supply versus demand equation, which we're going to talk about, and why our market still remains healthy. In fact, better than it was last year. When you look at supply versus demand, we were at 1.57 months of inventory. And if you're not been watching my videos and understand what I mean by months of inventory, it is not how long it takes to sell a home. It is the division of supply versus demand and how fast-paced the market is. So the lower the number, the better the market. So you can see at 1.08 months of inventory right now, we are better than we were last year. And that switch happened 4 weeks ago, where we are in a more favorable market currently than we were 1 year ago. Lastly, we're going to talk about pricing. And if you've been watching my videos, we talk a lot about pricing. In my June update covering May's statistics, we plateaued on the east side. So we had 4 months of straight appreciation, hit $1,450,000 in April, and then tied that in May. So the real question is, are we going to see any further increases, or are we going to plateau? And I'd say interest rates really is the key to that decision. But at this point, we had 1 week above the average of $1,450,000, and now we've got a week below that. So we'll see what that outcome is. So to kind of put a pin in all this, if you're a seller, you've got to watch your pricing. There's not a significant sign that prices are continuing to push upward. But if you're a buyer with months of inventory sitting at 1.08, you've got to look at every property with the decision, and knowing inventory is really at record lows at this point, you've got to make a decision. Is that home one you want? Are you willing to go to the mat for it? Because you might not get another choice this year. With inventory just being so low compared to what we would normally expect, the choices are not going to be abundant, and that is going to keep prices up. So hopefully you've liked what we have to say this week. Hopefully it helps you out. If so, please hit the subscribe button, share this with your friends, and we'll talk with you again next week. Take care.